All right, today we're going to tackle one of the most important verbs in English, the verb to be. Seriously, this one is everywhere. It's how you introduce yourself, describe the world, basically everything. So let's break it down and make it super simple.
I bet you've heard this one before, right? It's that super famous line from Shakespeare's Hamlet. And honestly, it's the perfect way to get us started.
So that's a famous line for sure. But for us, learning English, the real question isn't some deep, dramatic choice. It's way more practical. It's about how we actually use this verb in our day-to-day lives.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Grammar can feel a little intimidating. But trust me, to be is so much easier than it looks. By the end of this, you're going to have a super clear idea of how to use it. Okay, so where does this verb actually pop up? Let's take a look at some of the most common situations.
Oh man, we use it all the time. For stuff like jobs, you'd say, she is a doctor. Or talking about your family, they are my parents. We use it to introduce ourselves, talk about the weather, say where something is, and this next one is really important. We use it to talk about age.
Okay, now this is a really big one, especially if your first language is Spanish or another Romance language. In English, you don't have your age, you are your age. So instead of saying he has 29 years, you say he is 29 years old. So remember, for age, you always use to be.
So, we've covered the why. Now let's see this thing in the wild. And we've got a little help from some familiar faces.
Let's just imagine Kakashi introducing himself. He'd say, I am Kakashi Hitake. I am a powerful sensei. See that? When you use I, the verb is always am. Then he says, Guy is my rival. Since Guy is another person, a he, we switch to is. Let's keep it going. Say we're introducing someone else, like Itachi. We'd say, he is Itachi Uchiha. He is very strong. He is Sasuke's elder brother. It's that simple. When you're talking about a he, the verb you want is.
And you know what's great? It works the exact same way for she. No new rules to learn. For example, Sakura is a powerful ninja. So, for any single person who isn't you, whether it's a he or a she, the magic word is always is.
Okay, but what if we're talking about more than one person? Well, that's where are comes in. Look here. Who are they? They are Naruto and Hinata. And this also shows us how questions and answers work. Are they in love? The answer is yes, they are. For a negative answer, no, they aren't. See how it all flows together?
We've seen a bunch of examples in action. Now let's just lay out the basic rules. Nice and simple. Starting with the positive, or affirmative statements. Here it is, your cheat sheet. I always goes with am. That one's special. Then you've got he, she, and it. They all use is. Easy enough. And then everyone else, all the plurals, we, you, and they all use are. And pay attention to those contractions, like I'm, he's, and were. Using those is what will make your English sound so much more natural. All right, we've got the positive stuff down pat. So what about when we want to say something isn't true, or when we want to ask a question? Let's dive in.
You're gonna love how easy this is. To make a negative sentence, you just add one little word after the verb, not. So you are becomes you are not. And yeah, we've got contractions for these too. You are not can become you're not or you aren't. He is not can be he's not or he isn't. Both ways are totally correct.
And forming a question? Just as easy. There's a super simple trick. You just flip the subject and the verb. So if you have a statement like, she is a ninja, you just swap those first two words, and you get the question, is she a ninja? That's it. Just a simple switcheroo. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. We looked at why we use it, saw a bunch of examples, and we broke down the rules for affirmative, negative, and question forms. So now it's time for you to put it to work. And really, that's the whole thing. Congratulations, you've basically just cracked the code on the verb to be. You have the complete toolkit now. You know how to make positive and negative statements, and you know how to ask questions. You're all set. So, what's the best way to make all of this stick? You gotta practice it. So here's a little challenge. Can you introduce yourself down in the comments using what you just learned? Tell us who you are, what you do, or where you're from. I would love to see what you come up with. Thanks for tuning in.